Good morning. Time to make the coffee. Today's flavor is white chocolate. It's going to be 38 degrees today, so about 10 degrees warmer than yesterday. And tomorrow it's going to be 52. So that'll be nice. Another nice bonus warmer-ish day. So, still snow on the ground, but tomorrow that'll be gone. And hopefully we don't get a whole lot of snow this winter, although it is important to get enough moisture for the trees and things for this coming up year. That's important. So we get quite a bit of snow here usually, because we live on the lake. Not directly on the lake, but the lake is very close to us here. And we get a lot of lake effect snow, especially on the east side. We have like pockets where we get a lot of snow, and some don't get so much. So I don't live in what's called the snow belt here in Ohio. But we do get a lot of snow. It's kind of random sometimes, because the lake effect snow can pretty much dump itself anywhere. So I'm not sure if I'm going to go out today, or maybe I'll just wait till tomorrow and visit my mom. That's probably what I'll do. I'll do a little bit more cleaning up today, because that for me, for some reason, is a daily chore. I live with my grandson, but you know, his space is in the basement. He's got like a little apartment down there, and so the mess in the rest of the house is pretty much my own. So I've always been sort of, I'll make a mess and then I'll clean it up, and then I'll make a mess and I'll clean it up. But for the most part, my house was always very neat. It's never been like it has been the past few years, because I just can't do all the things that I used to do. And even in a smaller house, I mean, I don't have a huge house. You know, it's an average size home. But even if I had a smaller house, I'd have the same problem. So that wouldn't help to move. But I am helping myself by decluttering and downsizing. And at least then the cupboards won't be full and everything will have a home. So anyway, that's my plan. So let's give the coffee a try. I'm going to put a little bit of raspberry syrup in. And this is Tarani syrup. And this is actually a bottle from salad dressing. It's from Gerard's salad dressing. And then these pourers I got on Amazon, probably about 3 years ago. And it was like a whole dozen of them, and they just fit just right on here. And the labels, I got those on sale they were like 99 cents at Ollie's. So I just made a little bit of a more attractive, I don't know what you want to call it, container. So a little bit of raspberry syrup. And some chocolate caramel creamer. And this way I make my own coffee the way I like it. And this pairs really well with this white chocolate from Aldi's. So let's give it a taste. Cheers. That's very good. So I got myself another pot sitter. I've had him just as long as I've had the frog. Had him for a long time. And every once in a while I give them a new place to look at. So this is a little turtle. And I think they're really cute. I know, it's kind of nerdy, but I like cute little things. They make me happy, especially if they're animals. So, all right, I'm going to enjoy my coffee, and I will meet you at the budget book. Before I go, somebody was asking me about my TV Fire, and that's a free app called Fireplace Ambiance HD, and it does come with music which plays over and over and over again, which is a little annoying, but it does have a feature where you can turn the music off and just have the sound of the crackling fire. So that's what it's called. You can download it on a Roku TV. Fireplace Ambiance HD. Okay, here I am back at the budget book. After today, I'll only have today and tomorrow because yesterday I did not spend any money. So far so good. I mean, November is a month where I spent more than in October and way more than in September, because in September I only spent 2 days. I did real well in that month. So for me, this is an average spending month. I try and keep it as low spend as I can. So that is pretty much my numbers, for lack of a better term. Anywhere from 6 to 10 days I will spend money. But I was trying to cut that back and cut it down, which I'll continue to do into next year, because I want to start trying to save a little bit here and there as much as I can. Because even though I'm retired and it's not my goal to build up a huge savings at this point, it is my goal to have enough money to cover costs of repairs for car, house, whatever comes up, because I have windows that I need to replace, so I'll do those a couple at a time. The fella that did my front window, he said it's not any more or less expensive to do the whole house than it is to do a couple windows at a time. So that's what I'm going to do. Now, I don't know if every company is that way, but he's the same guy that did my roof, did a wonderful job, and then he did the window, and his price was really good for the window too. So I'm going to engage him in the spring to maybe replace a couple more windows. And my neighbor has windows she wants to replace too, because he doesn't want to just replace one window at a time. You know, a lot of these contractors, they want a big enough job that it's going to be worth their while to, come to your house and do the work. So that's the plan for the windows, but each window is probably going to be, it depends. My front window was $1,600, which was a really good price because they're huge windows. There's actually two. And then the smaller windows, I think, are going to run me about $800 or $900. So I'll have to save up the money for that, which I want to do. So anyway, that's my plan, and I'm just going to keep my fingers crossed that my furnace and air conditioner don't need to be replaced within the next 2 or 3 or however many years. 5 would be even better, or more, but it is 20 years old, so that's about the average life of a furnace. So that's my plan, to have enough money where I can be debt-free eventually. Now, I do still owe on my car. I hope to have that paid off. Well, I will have that paid off in 2024. I think I have maybe 7 more payments on that. And then I had to take out a little loan, 3 years ago, something like that, that I've been paying off. I've been making larger payments on that. So once the car and the loan payments are done, I mean, on the loan, I don't think I have to pay more than $100 a month, but I'm paying $300 a month. So that, ties up a lot of cash. So it makes it kind of hard to save at the same time where you're trying to pay off debt. So once I have those two things paid off, my car payment is $360, and it was a used car. I paid $18,000 out the door. It was a 2019, and I bought it in 2019, but it was a salvage car. So, and it's a beautiful car. So, hopefully once I get those paid off, I'll have a little more wiggle room and I'll be able to put more money away for other things that come up. So anyway, that's my financial plan, to buy less stuff. That doesn't mean I'm never going to buy anything. It doesn't mean I'm not going to maybe redo small things in my home, restyle it, and maybe buy a couple of decor things, not little things, but whatever I need. So that's sort of the plan, to maintain my home, that it makes me happy and cozy. That's a big thing for me. I want to keep my home very warm and cozy. I'm not into the minimalist look, but that can be very nice too. But that's just not for me. I just want it minimally furnished enough to keep it clean. So, all right, that is my financial plan. Let me know in the comments below, what do you guys do? Younger or older people? I'm interested to know what you do, how you keep your home so that you like it. And I know a lot of you go thrifting, which is a really great way to get things at a cheaper price, even though the thrift stores have really upped their prices. But it's still a good buy. Marketplace, next door, I think there's a free cycle, all kinds of places you can go to get things for free. So, all right, I will be back. 101 Ways to Simplify Your Life by Candy Paul. Day number 26. Give something away. If you give, you will receive. Your gift will return to you in full measure, pressed down, shaken together to make room for more, and running over. Whatever measure you use in giving, large or small, it will be used to measure what is given back to you. Luke 6:13. A generous heart finds simple joy in giving. By sharing good things with others, you loosen your tight grip on the things that perish and place them in God's hands instead. As you give, you will receive. Buy a gift that you would enjoy receiving, or share something that has held meaning to you. Develop a spirit of generosity by giving something away. Give your best, not a discard. Give the gift of yourself along with the object you give away. Giving in this generous spirit frees God to give you more, for He knows you can be trusted with His good gifts. Cultivate a spirit of generosity by giving away something you have enjoyed, so that someone else may enjoy it too. Well, this morning for breakfast, I'm having 1 egg. I had these croissants in the refrigerator for a long time. They're still good. I crunched them up in the air fryer. I have some Gouda cheese here from Aldi's and a little bit of Berman's whipped topping that's also from Aldi's. And I'm just going to make myself a sandwich this morning. I scrambled the egg, but I left it all together like I would an omelet. Put it on the cold cheese so it'll melt a little bit, and there is my breakfast brunch for this morning. And I think that will be delicious. Quick and easy brunch. Well, good morning. I'm going to finish up my coffee. Cheers again. We have to keep a lot of cheer in our life. It's important. Being depressed and sad isn't a fun thing, so if you struggle with that, please get some help and maybe try a different perspective on looking at things. Sometimes that helps. But anyway, that's not what I want to talk about today. Today, I'd like to talk about being retired and my goal of getting debt-free on a low income. So, I've been divorced now for second time. So I'm very familiar with starting over. I've been debt-free in my life several times. I've been in debt in my life several times. But right now I have some debt to pay off. The first thing is my car. I think I still owe like $3,000 some on that, which isn't terrible. But I'm paying that off. And then, I think it was around 4 years ago, I took out a loan, and it was a $10,000 loan to pay off some other debt. So it was kind of like, you know, the concept of like credit card surfing, but this was a very low interest loan that I got from the credit union. So I've been paying that off. And in this time frame, I've managed to pay it down to under $2,000. It's like $1,900 something. And I've managed to pay that down by paying, first initially I was paying $200 a month, but then as I paid off some other little debts that I had, like from last Christmas and all that, I upped the payment to $300 a month. Now the minimum payment on that is like $39. Well, it would take me forever and a day to pay that off. And even at 5%, I would have ended up paying a lot of interest. So I've been paying that off as quickly as I can and really trying to keep a handle on my debt. And that's why I do the budget book. It makes me really think about, do I really want this thing or need this thing? And I don't just buy things I need. I'm going to be perfectly honest. I buy things I want to. But it makes me think long and hard before I actually hit that purchase button, because I know it's taking me in the wrong direction. Now, within that 4-year time frame, I've had to have the roof replaced. I had my front window replaced. I needed a new washer. I needed a new hot water tank. I needed a new microwave. What else? I mean, there were a lot of things that were just falling apart. So I had to do the roof because my garage was leaking very badly. So I figured, well, I was just going to have the garage done, but then I thought, well, that's kind of silly. The roof is 20 years old, so I I decided to have the whole roof done. Now, I did manage, before I retired, I did manage to put together some retirement savings. But I don't really want to touch that money. I mean, I'm 73, potentially, with God's blessing, I could live 20 years or more. So I can't just blow all that money and then have nothing in reserve for any big issues that come up. So I very rarely touch that money. So I did decide to pay for the roof. I was going to finance it, but then I thought, oh, God, you're going to be paying for another 5 years on that roof. You know, weigh your options. Interest, or pay it off and maybe try and recoup that money by saving money as you get things paid down. So anyway, that is my plan, and I'm going to continue to pay more on that loan that I took out and not pay a whole lot on any more debt that I accumulate. Now, my washer, I bought that same as cash at Home Depot, and I paid that off in 6 months. So, of course, I had to make extra payments on that, which was fine. Either that, or what I do is I calculate what does my monthly payment have to be in order to pay that off within that time frame. So that's what I did for that. I did the same thing for my hot water heater. And I use same as cash all the time. And now I'm paying the microwave off that way because I bought that on sale. They're regularly like $700 and some because it's a convection oven too. That's my puppy here. He's a snorter. He's a snorter, huh? There he is. Snort, snort, snort. Oh, you're my snorter puppy. Yes, you are. You're my snorter puppy. So anyway, back to the microwave. That's also how I'm paying off the microwave, and it was on sale for $4.99, so it was like a $200 savings. So I went ahead and bought that because it's an above the stove microwave. And the old one that I had there, I mean, I could have thrown it out sooner, but then I would have had that hole there. So that's what I ended up doing. So my biggest temptation, in all honesty, is Amazon. But I set a limit as to how high I will let that bill go before I can't buy anymore until I get that paid off. So that's kind of how I do my finances. Well, no, you've been out twice already, so you have to wait. I'm talking to the people. And then I'll forget what I'm saying. You know. You know how that works, right? So anyway, that I utilize that same as cash all the time. I calculate my payments so that I can get it paid off in that time frame. Now, if I had to, I would reduce my payment on the loan in order to pay off the same as cash, but I haven't had to do that yet. So my whole goal, once I am debt-free, because I'll have a little more liquid cash at that point. Right now, everything is kind of allocated to different things that I need to pay for. So I'm hoping that when I become debt-free again, that I can get everything paid and do a little savings. Now, you know, if I save money, that's great, and if I don't need it, that's even better. But at this point in my life, I want to enjoy my money too. So it's not my goal to hoard away thousands and thousands of dollars and not enjoy my money either. That is not my goal. But I do want to have enough to pay for things that I'll need in the future. Now, I don't plan on buying a new car. I'll keep this car as long as I possibly can. It only has 22,000 miles on it because I don't drive that much. So hopefully I won't need to buy another car. But if I do, I probably won't pay cash for it. I'll probably end up getting another car and make payments for it. But hopefully that would be many years down the road. And who even knows if I'll be driving by then? I don't know. I don't have a crystal ball. So that's how I handle my finances. Now, that's not for everybody. And I know a lot of people follow Dave Ramsey, which is wonderful, you know, but I don't have enough liquid cash to be putting a whole lot of money into, I guess you call them sinking funds or this or that. And it would take me 10 years to put enough money into one of those funds to buy anything substantial. So I don't follow that. I just do the best I can with buying things and paying them off as quickly as I can. And that's been working real well for me. Now, in my lifetime, the last 20 years, I was a nurse, and the last, I retired about 10 years ago, maybe 11. And the only time that I made really good money as a nurse was maybe there was a time span where I was a corporate nurse for about 3 years. And I made a decent amount of money then. And it allowed me to save money that I could retire early. But in order to do that, I think I was able to save like $50,000. In order to retire early, I used that $50,000 to live on for 2 years. Now, I was married at the time, so my ex-husband and I, he paid all the utility bills, and I paid everything else for the house. So we didn't combine our money. I think as older people, sometimes you're hesitant to do that because, especially if you're a person that's been financially independent for most of your life, I know a lot of people would be hesitant to combine money with another person. At least that's how I was. But anyway, before that, I had decided to build this house. I had had a relationship, very long term. I was engaged to be married. Didn't want to do that because there were family issues with him and my kids. So it's like, no, this isn't going to work for me. So I decided to build this house. And at that time, that wasn't the time frame where I was making more money. It was just, you know, an average paying nursing job. So I built this house. I bought new furniture because I had never had new furniture before. I mean, I had like Walmart divorce furniture, if you know what that is. So I kind of went all out on furnishing my house, on building the house. I did upgrades because I knew once the house was done, I couldn't do that. So, boom, I lost my job. So, thank God I had a lot of friends that were managerial people, and I got a new job right away. But it was for less money, so I paid all that off, and then I was debt-free for a while. So anyway, up and down, debt-free, in debt, debt-free, in debt. But through it all, I've always managed to pay it off, to pay my bills, and my system works for me. So don't give up hope. If you're having financial issues, come up with a plan. If you need to see a financial advisor, they can sometimes consolidate debt, which is what I did with that $10,000 loan. And you can pay off your debt quicker and easier and work your way towards a debt-free life. So anyway, those are some of my tips on how I became debt-free in the past, how I'm planning to become debt-free again. Hopefully by the end of 2024, I'll be there. So, all right, well, I will be back either to sign off or see what else the day brings. All right, well, I just wanted to come back on here real quick. Frog in the throat. And I wanted to give you some tips. Now, as a disclaimer, these are things that work for me. You have to figure out yourself what works for you. So, don't say, well, Ellen told me to do this. This is just what works for me. So, I'm going to go through a list. I wrote some things down here of what has worked for me over the years. And hopefully it'll be helpful to you if you're trying to pay off your debt and get out of debt and keep from accumulating more debt. Now, I know since I'm a reformed, hopefully, shopaholic, I did do a video on that somewhere in the archives here of how I overcame that shopping addiction and what I do now in order to not go there again is I shop my house. I shop my house for anything that I think I want, and it's like, well, do I already have that, or do I have something similar? And it keeps me from spending and spending and spending. So, one of my other tips would be don't buy everything all at once. Wait for a sale, wait for thrift store buys, freebies. Lots of people give things away for free, or you can find it on the curb on garbage day. And make yourself a list. Write it down. Make yourself a list of the things you want. In my opinion, writing things down and focusing on that helps to put it out there into the universe or God or whatever your belief system is. And I believe in manifestation, and I believe writing things down and concentrating on them helps to manifest what you want. I know that's happened many, many, many times in my life where I was looking for something and it just materializes. I mean, I may have to buy it or somebody may be giving it to me or whatever, but it happens to me all the time. I have to let my puppies in. Okay, here we are back. I can't leave them out there too long. It's too cold out there. So let me just tell you a real quick story about manifesting. And I apologize, this is going to be a long video. If you're not interested in certain parts of it, just fast forward. But I had been looking at, I have a Buick Cascada. And I had been looking, we went to the car show, I looked there, and it was, it's really a nice, beautiful car. It's a convertible. And they were pretty expensive. They were like upper 30s, upper $30,000, especially for a loaded one. So it's like, well, I can't afford that. But that's really what I kind of had my heart set on, was the Buick Cascada. But I figured if something else comes along that meets my needs, I would get that. Well, I was driving somewhere and I had just bought myself a coffee at McDonald's, and I was driving along the road, and all of a sudden this little car comes zipping by me, and I'm looking at it, and here it's a little Buick Cascada, and it's got a sticker, a for sale sticker in the window. So it drove ahead of me, and it got in the turning lane, and I was going to turn too, and I said to myself, if this car, I'm going to follow it, and there was a salvage place on the way to where I was going, and if that car turns in there, I'm going to go look at it. So I followed it, and sure as heck, it pulled in there. I was very excited. I got out there, and they actually had two of them. One was gray, and this one was white. That's the one I bought. And the price was wonderful. It was in beautiful shape. It had been in an accident, so it was a salvage car. I have a salvage title. But that is just some of the things that happen to me when I focus and manifest on things that I would love to have. So anyway, let me go on with my list. So be patient. Don't buy everything all at once, but make yourself a list. When you go to the thrift store, it'll keep you more in check. You won't want to buy everything but the kitchen sink. If you're looking for specifics, you'll be more interested in focusing on that and telling yourself, I have X amount of dollars, and this is the item that I want to find and that I want to spend this money on. So it's worth giving it a try. Another thing that I do that you might want to consider, and I talked about this before, is buying the same as cash and paying it off before you have to pay any interest. So I've done that with almost everything in my house that I couldn't pay cash for. That's how I've managed to buy it and pay it off. I know this isn't for everybody, but get a short-term side gig. Now for me, that's YouTube. If I ever make 1 million subscribers, that may happen when I'm 90. No, it's not going to happen. But anyway, it's enough of a side gig that as my channel grows, and by the way, let me take this opportunity to anybody that has subscribed to my channel. I thank you so much. It's so helpful if you subscribe, like, share, and comment. It really helps my channel out. The algorithm will push it out to more, so more viewers can see it, and it's really helped. So my channel has been growing very nicely, and I'm very, very thankful to all my new subscribers, and especially to my old subscribers. I just love all of you guys because we have some really nice conversations. You guys have great ideas, and I get very excited about the comments. I just love reading all your comments, and I try to answer all of them. So hopefully I can keep that up as the channel grows, because I love this community. It's just really wonderful. So think about maybe starting a YouTube channel, and it may take you a while to build followers. I mean, I've been doing this for 4 years now, and I do it because I really enjoy it. I love sharing my days with everybody. I love hearing about your days. So, you know, it's really nice. Okay, I'm back. I just had a nice long conversation with my daughter about my Christmas Eve menu and some of the things we want to make. So getting back to my tips. Another tip that I can tell you that helps me a lot is to buy basic food and make yourself a cookbook of recipes that you like. And you don't always have to be cooking, but if you buy yourself basic foods that you can make a lot of different things out of. For instance, flour, sugar, all those things out of flour. If you had to, you could make pasta, you could make breads. There's so many things that you can make with just flour. And in a pinch, if things get really short, you'll have it. And then when you do go shopping, pick up a little bit of extra. Whatever you can afford, buy extra of and get yourself a food stash going. I mean, I can't even tell you how much that has helped me out with, being able to have extra money to pay bills. And if need be, and you have bills that you need to pay off and you don't really have extra money for food, go to your food bank. Utilize your food bank. They just end up throwing this stuff away. I know people get their panties in a wad about the food bank. Oh, only people that don't have food should go there. But that's not true. They need to get rid of this food, and a lot of times the food is like this far away from expiring, and when that happens, they need to throw it away. So people might as well go and get it and utilize it, and then you'll have extra money to pay your bill and maybe help you get out of debt so that down the road you will have money for food. So, don't listen to the naysayers or those people that try to shame you or judge you or whatever people do. If you need to go to the food bank. And then if you don't use that food right away, if it's something that hasn't expired, food can last past the expiration date. It's just because of legalities, they have to throw it out. But you don't have to. A lot of food is good for a year or so after it's expired. And if you don't, do your own research on that and decide for yourself if that's something that you want to do. But it does save you a lot of money, and there's nothing that says that you can't use excess food in a prepper stash. And make yourself a cookbook of recipes that you can use with the food that you have, so that you don't always have to run out and buy ingredients for new recipes. Get yourself a lot of different spices so that you can make all kinds of different things with pasta, beans, rice. You can make it into Mexican, Italian, Indian, whatever it is that you like to eat. Just get those spices so that you can change it up and you don't have to feel like you're eating the same old, day in and day out. Get yourself pastas and beans and rice and all those basic things, potatoes. Those are all things that you can make a lot of dishes with. You can cook extra and freeze meals for your freezer, and you'll always have food in the house. So that's one of my number one tips on saving money to enable you to pay off debt, is do it on food. Plan ahead. So if you know you're going to be needing something or wanting something, there's nothing wrong with wanting something. Nothing at all. I know a lot of people, especially the Frugal channels, the Frugal channels. It's like, only buy what you need. Don't buy what you want. But what happens with that, and this is just my philosophy, some of you may not agree with this, and that's fine with me. But if you're always just buying things that you need and you never buy things that you want, in my opinion, it makes for a very dull life. Part of life is enjoying your money and enjoying your home, enjoying whatever it is you enjoy. If that's you want to build a library and have a lot of books, then go ahead and do that. You don't need that stuff, but it's stuff you want. If you want 5 dogs, then do that as long as you can afford to take care of them. It's not always about nose to the grindstone and creating a poor man's mentality. You definitely don't want to do that. You know, where you're saying, oh, I can't afford this, I can't afford that. Chances are, you know, there's that old saying, you can have anything, but you can't have everything. So pick and choose the things that you really, really want. And then the things that you don't really want, you know, forget about it. So anyway, those are just some of my tips. I apologize for the long video, the long-winded chat. But I'm going to get dressed now and go to my daughter's house. She's out of creamer. Her son has her car, and she can't run to the store real quick. She is working, but she can't get herself any creamer for her coffee, and I have extra, so I'm going to go share that with her. So I will be back and sign off. Actually, I'm going to sign off now because I have no more information to give you. So anyway, that's all I have for you today. I want to wish you abundant blessings. I love you guys. Be good to yourself. Be good to others. God bless you, and I'll see you next time. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, comment, and like. It helps my channel grow. Don't forget to share. Thanks for watching.